life could be spread by meteorites from one part of the universe to another.
Whoa, check out that view.
This is the site of the impact crater, several 100,000 years ago.
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Very
Well,
well.
good
How are
afternoon.
you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. So it's wonderful to have you here today. If we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the industry?
Wow. I think it was just something I'd always wanted to do, to be honest. I think when I was a very, very young age, it was like an outlet for me to do something in the performing arts. And I just found a real love and a flourish for it. And it just started from an early age, really. And since then, I've just always been in the arts and pursuing it in that way. So yeah, that's sort of how it all started, I suppose. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what was it about Bonekeeper that made you want to tell this story, and what was it about Nadia that spoke to you as a performer?
Well, Bonekeeper is it's quite an unusual on the technical side is quite unusual to this film. But the story focuses around a group of friends who go exploring in these caves in Wales, because there have been lots of rumours of missing people, and it's a thriller horror. It's very fast paced. It's quite a sort of actiony type thriller horror. So it's a really exciting film. And it's what these friends find in this cave. And who's going to make it out, kind of thing. But yeah, it's quite an interesting film. I think it's the first film in the UK to actually make use of AI in a movie. So it's a bit different, but I think it's showcasing how you can use AI as a tool in the industry at the moment, which is quite fascinating, actually, what can be done, having seen some of the footage already. So it's an exciting one. But yes, I play Nadia in the film. She's a bit of a tomboy, and she's really quite tech savvy, and she's into, the caves and the geology and the rocks, and she loves like climbing up all these, crevices and things, and like she's there with her friends, to find out what happened to the people that went missing, but she's also got a bit of her own agenda for going there as well, which made her quite a juicy character to play. So yeah,
Awesome.
she's great fun. Yeah.
Awesome, and obviously working with Howard is just wonderful.
Yeah.
I hear nothing but good things about working with them. So what does it mean for you to be a storyteller and tell stories in this way?
I think we've got really important jobs as actors, which is essentially an actor is a storyteller. If you're doing that, you're often talking about, things that are going on in the world. So sometimes it might be based on a true story, what you're doing, or you're, posing a reflection on what people are like, different personalities, people's ambitions, people's wants, their desires. People often see a bit of themselves reflected in a performance or in a film or whatever the media is. So I think, we've got a duty sometimes to like reflect that authentically, but also not forget that it's also escapism. So, we provide, like, I mean, look at what happened in COVID. Everyone was at home and there wasn't a lot going on, and people turned to television and, media, and we were, a source of escapism for people during a really difficult time. So yeah, I think for me, like being a storyteller, I'm really drawn to a place of authenticity. And I like characters that feel very real. And my favorite kind of roles are the ones that are ones that you know you can resonate with, people that feel very human and very real. But you know, when you've got stuff like, you know, exciting action-packed horror films, you know, that kind of storytelling, it's more escapism, but you still have some authenticity and realness in the types of characters that you're playing, because these people, yes, they're in this kind of almost like fantastic world that's a little bit unreal, but they're still real human beings who've got wants and desires and needs, you know. So yeah, I think we do have an important job as actors to be storytellers, and I think telling the stories authentically is really important too.
Awesome. Absolutely, yeah. You have to believe you have to believe the performances, whether it is if it is a fantastical world or not. Yeah, you still have to believe it.
Yeah, because
Because
you're
otherwise,
buying into it. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So do you have any memories from filming that you'll remember for the rest of your career?
Oh, well, I have quite a few. I probably a highlight has been when I worked on Call the Midwife, and I was having a baby in the show. So I was playing a mum in labour who has a baby on Christmas Day or 4 days. And I will never forget being on set and having to do this performance of, you know, quite a quite a vulnerable situation.
So can you talk about your creative process transitioning from screen to performance capture in Khan or Kane, however it's pronounced?
Ken.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, um so I've been working in video games. That's been a more recent sort of segue that I've taken. Um, but yeah, most of the work I have done is sort of screen, TV, film, that sort of thing. And I found myself kind of leaning into the world of video games. And Ken was actually the first video game I did where I played sort of main character in a big game like that. Um, I think I found myself in video games more recently, just because video games feel quite cinematic these days. They're quite film-like almost,
Mhm.
you know, and you're as an observer, as a you know, a gamer, you're actually drawn into the story, and it's quite an immersive thing as well. It's not just passive, you know. So you are also shaping the narrative and you're involved in the process of telling the story. And again, we're talking about that place of authenticity. Characters in games, because they're so hyper realistic now, you need that to come from a place of realism. So I was very drawn to games, and I found that, gosh, this is actually not too dissimilar from, you know, the film and TV side of things. So that's kind of how I transitioned, I segued, you know, and I've had a really nice seamless transition between both now. But Cairn is a really interesting game. It's about a professional mountain climber, and she is determined to reach the top of the summit of Mount Kami, which is a fictional mountain. But it's her story. You play as Ava, the mountain climber, and it's her journey and her ascent up Mount Kami and the obstacles that she faces, both physically, mentally, the resilience and the determination and the drive that you need to have. So it was quite a physical performance as well, not just a vocally demanding job. you know, you needed to get all that adrenaline going, and you need to sound like you're actually climbing up a mountain. So, you know, you're as an actor, you're sort of using all different sort of parts of your body, and you know, sort of finding inspiration to make that sound unique and genuine. So yeah, that it's an interesting job for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. And so on that point of Ken, what was the emotional storytelling behind it? And what does it mean for you to be winning at Tribeca?
Well, I mean, the story itself is quite a simple story. We've already won an award for the game, which is very nice. I think people have been able to have a sort of demo play of the game, and you know, we won an award out in Tribeca for best game, which was yeah, just really touching. And I think it just goes to show that it is resonating with people already, and that it's you know, it's different. It's different. So yeah, I really hope people enjoy it when they play it.
Awesome. So are there any other aspects of the industry that you'd like to pursue?
Well, I mean, I haven't been I haven't been doing theatre recently. I have done theatre. I started out in theatre, but I seem to have leaned very heavily into screen media and video gaming. But I wouldn't mind going back to theatre for a little while, and trying some more different kinds of roles on stage and going back to that. But I think I've been quite curious about the world of motion capture as well, and performance capture, which ties in very much with the world of video games. It's your facial capture as well. It's your physicality. That's all recorded digitally. Often you're in a funny suit, and yeah, it's all picked up digitally like that. I'm quite curious about trying that properly. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I mean, there are some, there are quite a few pioneers. I mean, obviously Andy Serkis is like the
Yes.
first one to pioneer it, but you've got people like Toby Kebbell that do it really well, and Toby Jones as well, because he did like he was the and like the onset rocket was Sean Gunn, and yeah, so yeah, you've got lots of people to look up to there. So can you tell us about the shifting into horror with As Night Falls, following your stint on Call the Midwife and working on intense suspense-driven roles?
Well, I never thought I would end up doing horror. Normally it wouldn't have been my like go-to. But apparently that's, you know, where I'm at the moment. I've been doing a lot in the horror film side of things, but it's actually more fun to act in one than to watch, I think. I
Yeah.
find them so scary. Yeah, but As Night Falls is one of my latest film projects to date. We're hoping for a release, I believe, next year, in the spring, around that
Okay.
sort of time. Quite interesting film. It's quite introspective. It's a horror, but it's about a about this lady called Jane and her partner Aidan, and they are survivors in this I suppose you could call it a post-apocalyptic world. It's quite a dystopian, very sort of almost like a fever dream, this kind of world where there's an entity that now lurks outside, and this entity is able to take on the form of people you know. or anyone for that matter. So you don't really know who you can trust anymore, and you absolutely do not go outside because this entity just roams around all the time. So Jane and Aidan are searching for a place to call home in this new alien world that they're in now, and they seek solace in an industrial estate with a group of other survivors. And it's sort of about how humanity fractures under pressure, and who can you trust, who can't you trust, and the fact this new entity can take on the form of people. Are we safe here? Or, so there's a lot of questions going on, and a lot of people having to face themselves in a really scary situation. Yeah, it's quite an introspective, dark, psychological kind of horror thriller, and I'm really excited about this.
It sounds like some Carpenter Thing vibes with that. Have you seen that film?
I haven't actually. No, I've heard of it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
It's an 80s film starring Kurt Russell, and they're in an outpost in the Arctic, and they uncover an alien that was buried in the ice,
Oh,
and it starts taking it starts taking over people, and you have to test. I think they cut their fingers and stuff to see who bleeds and stuff like that. You never
wow.
quite know who to trust, and yeah, it's brilliant. It's Kurt Russell and Keith David are the two main in there. But and like all the effects are practical. It's the 80s, so like the effects have got like their own charm to them. But it was all practical. It's brilliant. It's a wonderful watch. But it does skew more to the horror side of things. But it's 80s, so it's like all practical and things don't look quite real.
Yes.
So, but it's fun. It was a good film. They did make a prequel to it called The Thing, and that starred Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And
Okay.
the interesting thing about that is they did everything practical, but then they enhanced it with computer generated, and got rid of all the practical stuff. So I haven't seen the prequel, so I don't know. I don't know how successful it was, but there we go. So two questions left. What are you working on next that you can tell us about?
Well, I can't give any names because I'm NDA'd.
Okay.
But I am currently working on a RPG AAA video game with a very well-known game developer as the lead role, which is very nice. It's a sci-fi existential genre, if you like. And we've been working on this for about 3 months now. So that is keeping me very busy at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one coming out. It should be really good.
Awesome. Look forward to talking to you more about that when you can tell us more. And just finally, where can we find you online to keep up with everything you're doing?
Oh, well, if you'd like to give me a follow, I am on Instagram at Sophia Eleni Official, and I am also on X at Sophia Eleni. You can find me there.
Wonderful. All right. Well, so sorry about these technical issues that we've had, but this was a wonderful interview. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Mark. Pleasure to speak with you.
You too. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
All the
Bye
best.
for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
Welcome to TikTok, you fat fuck!
You show what you can do. I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still be. Why don't you give me a sign like the sea?
Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe. A London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.